Hi, I thought today we could just check in together. I was out driving earlier and it felt like a good moment to pause and share the road with you for a little while. So if you like, come for a drive with me and we'll just take a few minutes to breathe and be where we are. Before we talk about what checking in means, I want to be clear about what it does not mean. Checking in is not scanning yourself for feelings. It's not asking how am I doing in a critical way. And it's not trying to locate or access anything hidden. Checking in is not an interrogation. It's a presence. When people hear the phrase checking in, they often imagine an internal task, something they are meant to do correctly. But checking in isn't a technique, it's a relationship. And like any relationship, it begins with respect. What checking in is? Checking in simply means noticing what is already here. Not what should be here, not what you think ought to be present, just what is. That might be a sense of tiredness, a feeling of distance, a neutral blankness, a slight tightness in the body, or nothing in particular at all. All of those count. Checking in doesn't demand a response. It doesn't require insight. It doesn't need language. It's closer to noticing the weather than analysing a problem. You don't argue with the weather. You don't fix it. You notice it. When checking in feels difficult for some people, for many people, checking in feels surprisingly uncomfortable. That's not because something is wrong, it's because early on, many of us learnt that paying attention inward wasn't safe or useful. We learnt to focus outward, on other people, on expectations, on being capable, on staying functional. So turning attention inward can feel unfamiliar, even threatening. If you notice resistance, restlessness or distraction, that doesn't mean you're avoiding something. It often means your system learnt that staying alert to the outside world was necessary. That deserves respect, not correction. Checking in is not contact. This is important. Checking in does not mean making contact with the inner child. Checking in does not mean making contact with the inner child. You are not asking a younger part to appear. You are not visualizing. You are not revisiting memories. You are simply allowing awareness to rest. Think of it like standing near a doorway without opening it. You're not knocking. You're not calling out. You're just acknowledging that the doorway exists. That alone is enough. The role of the adult self. The most important part of checking in is not what you notice. It's who is noticing. Checking in works when the adult self is present, not the part of you trying to improve, not the part of you trying to heal faster, not the part trying to get it right, but the adult part that can stay steady, kind and patient. The adult present is what creates safety. And safety, not inside, is what allows anything to soften over time. When nothing happens, many people worry when nothing seems to happen during a check-in. But nothing happening is often a sign that your system feels no urgency. And urgency is not the goal. Stillness is not absent. Sometimes the most regulated response is simply being here without reaction. That is not avoidance. That is capacity. A gentle way to practice. If you want to try a check-in, do it like this. Pause. Notice your body in the chair. Notice the room around you. Then ask quietly without expectation, is anything asking for my attention right now? You do not need to wait for an answer. If nothing comes, that's an answer. If something comes later, that's okay too. Checking in is not about timing, it's about permission. Checking in is not how we fix ourselves, it's how we learn to stay with ourselves. Nothing inside you needs to be summoned, nothing needs to be uncovered. What lives quietly inside you will move at the speed of trust, and trust grows slowly, exactly as it should.